Hello, MultiVersus community. I wanted to talk about the top 5 things I want to see added or improved in the next season of MultiVersus that is coming out in the next few days. Now, if you don't agree or have your own opinions on what should be added, please put them in the comment section down below. I read all the comments and I appreciate all of them. So, without further ado, let's get into the top 5 things I want to see added personally into MultiVersus Season 2. Now, I want to start off this list by talking about the Rift mode. The Rift mode was promised to be this huge PvE thing that you would want to replay over and over again, blah blah blah. But when the game came out, I played the first Rift thing on the easiest difficulty, and I thought it was quite boring, to be honest. I did eventually, at the end of the season, get high enough level gems and finished every single rift and got the Agent Smith skin, the Matrix Code skin. I eventually got that, but it was not fun at all, let me tell you. You needed the highest level gems, and even with the highest level gems, which are ridiculously hard to grind out, by the way, it's still very difficult and pretty much impossible to do solo. You basically need a friend who has high level gems or even mid-level gems to assist you in doing all of these rift nodes, as they call them, the fights, and the boss fights are almost basically impossible solo. The Joker fight literally requires you to stack up an unrealistic amount of damage by yourself. Even with a teammate, you can barely stack enough damage to beat it before the timer runs out. And even then, you still run the risk of dying and losing all of that progress. It's not really fun when you fight a boss for 6 minutes and then they time you out and then you have to do the same exact thing over and over again. On the Looney Rift with the Joker boss, I've had to do it at least 5 times on my first attempt with a friend. Me and my friend were very tired of this, of course, and it took us about 30 minutes to beat this one boss. It wouldn't be that much of an issue if the bosses were really fun to fight, but the bosses in MultiVersus aren't really engaging. They would just have you hit the same spot over and over again while dodging projectiles, which is not fun to do in a platform fighter game like MultiVersus. Fighting game bosses should encourage you and push you to the game's limits, but these bosses are just annoying, high HP, Destiny-like raid bosses with a short time limit. So for most of these bosses, like the Rain Dog boss, you have to cheese them out with specific strategies, which isn't fun to do or to try and figure out. Now, like I said, I completed every single boss on the Looney difficulty and gotten myself the Agent Smith skin. So of course, I do have some proposed changes to the mode that I would make. I would make Rift Gem XP be a lot faster. At the beginning of the season, they want you to get you 3 dailies a day. But when I was playing, my horror gems were pretty low level because I would get the other gem types as my dailies, but not horror as much since there was only one rift at the time. Now, they did amend that by making it so that you get at least a couple of gem XP for each type of gem every day, but with the amount of gems, it's honestly not that much. So what I do propose is that at the end of every rift, they give you a gem that you can get a free level on at the end of the rift once you beat the boss fight, and you can choose whatever gem you want to level up. That's part of that tier, and do it for each difficulty level, and obviously make it scale. So for easy mode, you get 1 level up, and then normal 2, then so on and so forth. That's my suggestion for making the gem XP a little bit better, and also make the rates higher for the daily gem XP, because the rates are pretty low, and once you get to level 5, the gem XP slows down exponentially. Even if you miss a couple days, you'll miss out on a decent amount of XP, and you won't be able to push your gems all the way to level 10. So by the end of the season, when they eventually do another event like the Smith one, that you won't have enough to complete it on your own. Assuming that they did change the difficulty, and the difficulty is the one thing I want to see changed the most. The difficulty feels super artificial and is so reliant on your gem levels and requires you to have a friend who is on equal gem levels. all rifts should be able to be beaten by yourself, basically. I don't think that's that much to ask of the developers. Not everybody knows a friend who has to do the rift mode. Personally, for me, I've been helping out people online on my Twitter and on Reddit. I've been assisting them, and I've asked for assistance on the rifts myself, and it's a bit ridiculous that the game asks us of that. So that's number one. I really want to see the rift mode change. I really love the cutscenes. Some of the boss fights are actually pretty cool concepts, in my opinion. And I like the whole story mode and character interactions. I think they're very cute and very wholesome. So yeah, that's what I would like to see change in number one. For number two, I want to talk about new stages and music that I would like to see and hear inside of MultiVersus. It's no surprise that MultiVersus actually has some pretty good stages, because a lot of them are taken from the cartoons and the movies that we grew up on. That would be the case as well for the music if the music wasn't entirely kind of mediocre, in my opinion. A lot of the music in this game isn't really fighting game-y, if that's even a term. It's very just kind of mellow and orchestral. A lot of it isn't really hype, and nothing really catches the whole aesthetic of final round showdown like other games like Street Fighter and Tekken and Mortal Kombat to some extent, and also Guilty Gear. Those games have some of the best soundtracks in gaming history, depending on which title you pick, like Guilty Gear Strive. I think Guilty Gear Strive has one of the best soundtracks in the gaming industry, and it's just a fighting game, and a lot of that music gets you hyped up for the final round showdowns and makes every hit feel all the more impactful. I think MultiVersus should really focus on the music and make it a lot more intense, a lot more hyped up. The stages in the game are really good. I'm very excited for the Warner Brothers lot stage that they showed off earlier as well. But if samuraijack, quote unquote, is joining the game, hint, 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 if he is joining the game, I'd like to see a stage based off the show that he's from, of course. But there is some stages that I like to see, because we've gotten the Powerpuff Girls Townsville and Dexter's Lab stages, even though they're not in the game. So I do have a few that I'd like to propose. I'd like to see a Lego stage. I think a Lego stage would be pretty cool based off the movies or the Ninjago TV show, which Warner Brothers owns. I'd like to see that. You could obviously incorporate some pretty crazy hazards. Maybe if it's a Ninjago stage, a Lego ninjutsu tornado like Kai swoops in and hits the bottom of the stage with this spin jutsu. Or if the Lego Batcave, you could just make it exactly like the Batcave, but, a Lego version that sometimes replaces it. I think that would be pretty cool. Or if it's based off the Lego movie, you can have just people building in the background, or maybe make it like the Minecraft stage in Smash Bros. Where the layout's kind of random, like it's a kid's toy box. I think that would be pretty cool. Another stage I'd like to see is maybe something from the Mortal Kombat series. Mortal Kombat has had a lot of very cool locations, and I'd like to see at least one of them incorporated into MultiVersus. I think just any one of the various stages from Mortal Kombat, any of the games, would be pretty cool to see. Maybe throw in Scorpion fighting Sub-Zero in the background, and sometimes an ice projectile from Sub-Zero gets knocked into the stage. I think that would be pretty cool to add. You can make it based off some of the newer games and have Fire God Liu Kang in the background. I think that would be pretty cool if they don't get a fighter, but I do want Scorpion in the game at some point. We'll get into that later. But yeah, just some suggestions for stages, and also just make the music a little bit more uppity, I guess. Change some of the old songs, like the song for the Wonder Woman Island is pretty dull, and it's just basically the main theme of the game, which is very orchestral and not very fighting game-esque. So that's number 2. I want more stages and better music. Now I want to talk about new game modes I want to see added, or some old ones I want to see return. like the silly queue. And of course they had some special game modes during like Christmas and Halloween, I believe, where they would have this like, random modifier on the match. And I think that was pretty cool. I think they should bring something like that back. I think that would be pretty funny, to be honest. To have a nice little silly queue gets the non-competitive people a little bit happier because they can play whatever they want. They don't have to sweat all the time. I know that's a huge concern for some people. A lot of people, they can't do their challenges because a lot of people online, like me, are very sweaty players. So I think silly queue would help alleviate that. Also, adding a versus bots mode again would be pretty good to help people out with their dailies and their weeklies. A lot of people, they can't really play online PvP that well, especially since, even I feel it too, a lot of players are sweats and they are really good at the game, of course. Now, another game mode that I would propose as adding is maybe a game mode that makes the lives in 2v2 like Smash Bros stocks, where each player gets 2 lives or 3 lives, and then once that player runs out of their 2 lives, it's just that one player on their own. Now, I think that would be incredibly hard for the one player on their own, but maybe can share stock or something. I think that would be pretty cool to add just for fun. Maybe they could incorporate some of those mini games like volleyball into online. I think that would be pretty fun and interesting. I don't know how much replayability those would have, but I think that would be pretty fun too. So that's number 3. I think that they should add some more game modes to spice up the variety of the game. I think free-for-all was a step in the right direction, but let's add some more game modes like silly queue and maybe volleyball. I think that would be pretty fun. Now, time to address the elephant in the room, or one of the elephants. We're still not there yet, but hold on. Ranked mode. Everybody and their mother has been talking about ranked mode ever since launch. Personally, I wasn't too disappointed when ranked didn't come on launch, but some people were. Some people were very angry about it. I remember on launch day seeing a lot of tweets asking, where's ranked mode, where's ranked mode? Because they did have a trial or a beta for it in the beta in a beta. It's kind of funny, but anyways, a lot of people want to see ranked mode come back. It is also in the game. You can look at it if you go to the queue selection. It says ranked mode is coming soon. I believe there's some leaks about it, but I won't talk about leaks here because those are spoilers, and I don't want to get copyrighted by Lord WB himself. So we'll keep that under wraps for now. But ranked mode is coming in the future, and a lot of people, including myself, I do want to see it at some point. I don't think it's a huge thing right now that we need to divert all of our attention to. I'd rather see the game become more functional. I like to see rift mode change a bit more. I like to see more content like stages and characters be added to the rotation to make ranked mode a bit more fluent and interesting to play. A lot of people, like I said, they want it back, and I understand, but I would like them to iron out the game and all the bugs and the issues beforehand. We still have crazy characters like Iron Giant, which they still haven't balanced yet, and I think hopefully with the Season 2 patch, they've had most of these fixed and amended. And I do believe that Season 2, or at the very least Season 3, will have ranked mode. I don't know on launch, they would have been talking about it by now, but I do expect to see ranked mode soon in the future. But it's still one of the highest priorities, because most of the player base wants to see ranked mode. They want something to grind out. For me personally, I'm fine grinding it out on ladder to get Battle Pass XP. But it would be cool to get some nice ranked rewards. I want to see how I do against other players. I want to climb up the leaderboard. The top dog challenge is there, but it doesn't fulfill the same role. But yeah, I think ranked mode would be one of the better things that they would have added again into the game. This could have been in game modes as well, but I think ranked mode is such a substantial thing that it deserves its own number on this list. So yeah. Please bring back ranked mode soon. A lot of players want to see it. Me, myself, I can hold off on it, but a lot of people, they really can't hold off like I can. So hopefully they add a ranked mode this season or in season 3. Now, time to talk about arguably one of the most hyped things that comes with a new season, new update with MultiVersus, the characters. We already basically know that Samuraijack is on the way, and that the theme is going to be some future neon theme based off the skins, which is pretty cool. But we want to know, who are the other characters? You know, we have Samuraijack, but who else? What theme could they be going for? Personally, I think they might be going for a Japanese-inspired theme. Now, hear me out. They are announcing the characters at EVO before Mortal Kombat 1, before the tournament. Now, I think that's pretty weird. The games are both owned by Warner Brothers, so maybe, just maybe, we might see a stage, or hopefully a character from Mortal Kombat in MultiVersus. A lot of people want to see Scorpion. I would love to see Scorpion too, but honestly, most of the reps from Mortal Kombat would just be excellent choices. I think that Scorpion is obviously the best choice though. He would be a nice assassin. He would have the hook move. He would have some sauce. He has the teleports too. I think that would be pretty cool. He obviously has the Hellfire. Honestly could be a perfect character to add to a platform fire. He would be akin to Ryu from Street Fighter. Maybe they can give him the same kind of combo strings, even though MultiVersus kind of works that way, but maybe make his cancels a lot more noticeable. I think that would be pretty cool. You know, maybe he could drop with the stage 2. I think that would be pretty awesome as well. Of course, they would have to tone down the violence, but his character would still work pretty well. And if they want to get a little crazy with it, maybe they could throw on a Raiden skin for Black Adam, since their movesets are basically identical. I think that would be pretty cool. Or maybe you could add a Liu Kang skin for Shaggy. You know, Shaggy's already, you know, that Shoto kind of, you know, kicks and punches and stuff. Basically what Liu Kang is. I think that would be pretty cool to be added in the game. You could also go in and add Sub-Zero, but I think that's less likely. Scorpion is basically the poster boy for the Mortal Kombat franchise, the poster boy for the ninjas from Mortal Kombat, so I think Scorpion is an obvious choice for this season if they're going with the Japan theme. Now, another choice that I would have for this season, if it was going to be Japan themed, and we're staying within the realm of Warner Brothers characters, I think Ruby would be an awesome addition to the game. I don't know much about the franchise or the series, but I think Ruby would just be an excellent anime rep in this game. There's already some voice lines kind of hinting at it. So, Rick has a voice line where if he wins, he says something about anime characters. I'm gonna play the voice line right now if I can find it. Hopefully I do. It's a funny voice line.
They start getting anime crossovers in here, that's when you really know the maw of capitalism is going down on this shit.
I think Ruby would just be an awesome character to add to this game. She has a cool scythe. I don't know much of her abilities. I'll be 100% honest. But that is one of the anime characters WB owns entirely. They own Rooster Teeth. I've heard that Ruby went to Viz Media recently. I don't know how the licensing works with that, but I'm assuming that WB could still put Ruby in the game, and I think she would fit the Japanese theme pretty well, considering that she would be the first anime character in the game, and I think that would be pretty awesome. Well, that concludes this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I'm very excited to see the new trailer that they're going to put out for EVO on Saturday, and also that live stream that they're going to have on Monday talking about the new season and going into depth, and of course the launch of the new season. It's going to be very exciting, and I can't wait to make new videos on the new content. Expect to see a reaction video or some sorts coming from me tomorrow. I'm very excited to see who they're going to add. Of course we know about the Samuraijack, but honestly the other characters are pretty ambiguous in my opinion. So, With that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Please like and subscribe. Also comment if you have some other things that you would like to see touched up on in Season 2 of MultiVersus. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Much love. Talk to y'all later.